Boys.
Cali King.
In the morning.
Eric V, Nick V.
And MAINO, welcome to the studio, man.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed to have you here. Good morning to you, sir. My brother Eric V unfortunately couldn't be here, like I'm trying to explain to you. And we usually sing a Baka Boyz song for you in the morning. This is our song. Do you know Sanford and Son?
Yeah, of course.
All right, so this is one of our favorite, TV shows of all time. And we do this special morning show song where we welcome our guests and we sing. Some grown-ass men up in there singing some good stuff. But anyway, we're glad to have you in here. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, man. What are you doing in California, big dog?
Oh, man, we work, I'm on my promo. We pushing this new song, All Again, featuring Macy Gray. So I just been doing my radio runs and running all over the country. Getting it in.
When's the last time you done the radio runs, man? It's been a minute, huh?
It's been a minute since I've done them like this.
Yeah.
Because I needed that support. I needed that system. Those resources. I needed that. Needed that machine.
It can't be done alone.
Of course,
it's tough.
Yeah, you can't be, because even when you have the music.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter, because if nobody heard it.
Exactly.
If nobody's hearing the music.
So sometimes it's a disconnect. You got a lot. If people not my core fans, if you're not a core fan of mine and you live somewhere in the West Coast, you may think that I took a break or something.
Right.
When I have never took a break. We average 2 projects a year.
Oh wow. So that's where I'm at. I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't heard.
Right.
Because of the machine.
Because of the machine. Without the machine,
wasn't getting to me.
This wasn't getting to you unless you was looking for me, unless you was following me, unless you were really a core MAINO fan, then you would know that. But the average listener would think that I took some time off, and I haven't.
Well, the last thing I heard from you probably was first song, of course, was the High Hater joint,
right?
All Above, with that joint, and then you popped up on the Love and Hip Hop thing to meet.
Nah, that's
a lot of stuff happening between. So tell me about that. Even though you're on the television joint, tell me about the struggles and the trials you've had. Being in the studio, working on music.
Well, the music itself never been an issue. The business part of it is.
Okay.
So then when I first came through, I came through with Universal. That didn't really work out. Then I got signed to Atlantic, and when I got signed to Atlantic, that's when everything happened. So that's when I came with the All the Aboves, the High Hater, the $1 Million, That Could Be Us, and a couple other songs that charted. I had 5 records that really charted. And then when I was out of business with them, it was always a struggle to get the singles where I needed them to get to. Okay. You understand?
That was the machine wasn't really working for
you.
Right.
When you don't have it, when you don't have a deal, you don't have the backing, you don't have the the
support system. You need
prioritize your music.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: tell me about those emotions that you went through when you're dealing with these major companies and you're signed to the company and you can't get no support. You're sitting there, you're feeding them their product that you were signed to do, and you're not getting what you deserve.
Well, personally, I wasn't even in business with them no more.
Okay.
So I was not even in a deal, and because you don't have a deal, it's the same as being signed and not getting nothing anyway.
Right. It's like being shelved.
Right. It's like being shelved. So the music, but all you could do was stay down long enough till you could come up. So all I could do at that point is just continue to deliver to my base. It didn't matter what everybody else. All I could do was me. You go through every emotion because you feel like you ain't getting everything that you deserve.
I've heard you talk about this on some of your interviews.
Yeah.
What are those things that you feel that you deserve that you have not yet accomplished? Is it a personal thing, or is it from the outside source? Is it something individual for you that you haven't felt like you've?
Yeah, just feeling. When you're a go-getter, you never feel like you always accomplish everything. When you're a hustler,
always something new to
it's
go
always
for.
something new. You understand? So, for me, going through that period of time when I didn't have the back end, or I didn't have the muscle behind me, I didn't have those marketing dollars, pushing my music, and having that disconnect. Of course, I'm always feel like I didn't get everything that I set out to get. This is not my return record. This is just one record that I got the machine behind.
Right.
But we averaged 2 projects for a year for the last 10 years. But
I feel like lately though, your brand has been just really skyrocketing. I feel like every single month I take a look at what you're doing and you just keep elevating and escalating. And I think a lot of it has to do with you're putting out that positive message, that motivation.
Right.
And that's that's really important right now, because we live in an era where, we have so much negativity around us with social media, and you're coming to us through your Instagram and your social media, and you're feeding us what our soul desires, you know?
Well, I had to figure out a way to use the social media, right? So when social media first hit, I was like, man, I ain't with all that. But then I had to figure out how I could make it work for me, you know? I started off making those videos just really talking about myself because I needed to talk to myself. I needed to push myself because some of the biggest voices that you need to quiet is the ones in
Inside
your own
your
head.
Absolutely.
The ones that telling you, man, you can't do this, you ain't that good, this and that, you too tall, you too fat, whatever it is.
Right.
Those are some of the things, the insecurities that you have within yourself when you waking up and you looking in the mirror and you not feeling complete. So that was me talking to me. But what happens is that it's so real, it's so realistic that it resonates with people and people feel it because it feels like themselves. And it feels like I'm preaching, but I'm really not. I'm really just talking about me. But it works, and that helps, I guess, that helps the brand, you know, because we live in a time where people, it's just not just music. They want something else.
Well, you know, people are always just showing the glitz and the glam. They're not showing like what happens behind the scenes, the nights you can't sleep, the days that you're tired, or when you're heartbroken and you're going through all these emotions. Right. And I think that's why there's so much mental illness nowadays, because nobody can relate, because nobody's being honest and keeping it real. You know, and you've come out on social media. You're like, no, I went through this. Like I saw your review on the Netflix show.
When they see us.
When they see us.
Right.
And you know, you were so transparent. You talked about when you got incarcerated at 15 and being handcuffed and your emotions, and you were like real and raw. And that is what society needs to see. They need to see.
I cried the whole. It was 4 parts. I cried the whole thing.
I haven't got a chance to see that. What is that about?
Real. It was about the Central Park 5. You know, the Central Park jogger case. You know, it was a big case in New York City, and you know how these teens, you know, between the ages of 14 and the oldest one was 16. You know, how they were wrongfully accused of something that they didn't do, and it, you know, took a lot out of their lives. Yeah. It wound up being corrected later on, but, you know, for me, it touched home because I was going in and out the system when I was 14, 15 years old. I wound up going and staying in the system when I was 16 and didn't get out until I was about, 26. And, you know, so I know what it felt like, so I identify with it.
Okay. We're sitting in the studio with MAINO right now. We're going to play the single with Macy Gray, which is a great combination, man. Yeah. Congratulations on that. Thank you. She has a very distinctive voice. Yeah. She's been around for a long time. Yeah. And for you to connect with her, I think it's a wonderful treat for everybody.
Yeah, something different.
Why don't you introduce this record and we'll come back and talk about it.
You already know what it is, man. It's that new MAINO featuring Macy Gray right here, Baka Boyz in the morning.
All again, 37 past the hour. Buenos dias to everybody listening. We appreciate you. Tune in right now, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. The one and only MAINO in the studio with the Baka Boyz right now. That's a brand new single featuring Macy Gray, All Again. Getting a lot of positive response on our Twitch here, Twitch feed, YouTube. Everybody's saying they love the song, man. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Let me ask you, when choosing the record or choosing the song, was it a departure for you musically?
Right.
For your brand?
What you mean?
Like, you know, it's more of like an anthemic.
So my biggest song is All the Above. It's similar.
Similar to that.
It's similar to that.
So it wasn't a far departure for you?
Nah. This is Party and Pain. This is redemption. This is being an underdog and then knowing it. This is grabbing life by its horns and being knocked down and getting back up and fighting. This is believing.
For those out there who are going through a similar situation or might be, you know, going through the downs, you know, they're having a tough time. They might be homeless for that matter. Right. You know, I mean, what are some of those encouraging words? I know you said it in your song, but how do you get up every morning and you continue to fight?
Well, we all going through something. It don't matter. We don't have to be going through something as drastic as others, but we all trying to level up. We never where we always want to be. Everybody in this room want to be somewhere else.
Have you always been like this? Was it?
I mean, listen, All the Above came out 10 years ago. It's the same thing.
But what about? Talk to me about your incarceration. You know, going through that and coming through that. You spent a lot of years under. You know,
but that's where it comes from. Knowing, I mean, when all you have is yourself, you got to dig deeper. You got to dig deep into your reserves because it's like, you know, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give up. You can't give up. You know, and I've been in some real dark places in my life. You know, speaking of incarceration, I done been, you know, incarcerated, like, you know, being in the box, being below, you know, any level of, you know, society's totem pole, like just at the bottom of the world. So, you know, when you at these dark places and all you have is yourself and you looking yourself in the mirror, you got to tell yourself, I got to keep going. You got to keep pushing. You got to find faith. You got to find hope in something. And then, but, you know, dealing with this music business, you sometimes you feeling the extremes highs and then there's extreme lows. And then you have to navigate, because they'll trick you out to make you believe that, have you second guessing your own talent. Man, maybe I'm not that hot, or maybe I'm not that good, or so you gotta weather the storm, but it doesn't even have to be music. It could be whatever. It's people getting up every day, every morning, going to jobs that they hate, right? It's people dreading Monday because it's to face the world. But it's how you choose to look at things. I like to look at things is the glass always halfway full. I always like to look at things optimistically. I always like to find, hope in something, you know what I mean? And not be pessimistic, because I come from trauma, I come from death, I come from, a world where I've seen a lot go down. So now this has to be easier.
Yeah. It's almost like you had to be broken to come back stronger to become the person that you're destined to become.
Of course, you got to go through hell to get to heaven.
Some of the darkest times is when the light.
That's right, because that's when you. I mean, look, what do a diamond go through?
Yeah,
extreme pressure and heat, and it becomes its better form, right? So it's the same thing. We go through certain things, but it helps to determine our character. It helps to sharpen us. It helps to, broaden us, and we come out better. We come out stronger, and we come out, better to sustain life.
Can you apply that analogy to hip hop then today, and what's happening in hip hop?
As far as what?
As far as the quality of music, perhaps.
Right.
Let's start with the quality of music and where we are right now compared to where we started, the foundation, and how the energy that hip hop gave off. It's still it's large. Don't get me wrong, it's the biggest genre on the planet. But I think we're kind of in the Kiss. The rock and roll Kiss phase, where the hair bands were real big in rock and roll, and Nirvana came in 1991 and killed all that noise.
Right.
Where do you feel we are as far as hip hop is concerned? You think we're in a dark place, or
I feel we in a. It's hard to say. It's from your perspective. It's whatever your POV is, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you could look at it like this. This is how I like to look at it. We're in a good place because there's a fan for everybody.
For sure.
Right. Whatever music that you like is the music that you can ride with. If you walk into a sneaker store, it's like hundreds of sneakers in there, and you get what you like.
Yeah,
your style. You get what, you get what fits you. What works for you. You like the neon green joints. I personally ain't with it. You understand? That's not my style. I'm not with all the fruity colors and all that, right? That's not what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go to the section that got the type of sneakers that I like. In hip hop, you got music that applies to different fans.
Yeah.
Get what you like.
Yeah.
What I will say is that there's not a lot of content-driven music where it's like, it was a time when you listen to an album, like you heard a whole album full of like a subject
message.
matter, right? Not so much a message. I don't want to get, because people get confused when you talk about message. Not so much a message, but it was something that may have been heartfelt. The girl record, the club record, the street record. It was a whole project. Now everything is just so club driven.
Yeah.
So if it makes you feel as an artist that if I ain't putting out a club song, then my joint might not get played.
Right. Well, obviously you did the opposite with this one, right?
Right. Because I had to take a leap of faith, because I felt like, man, I'm holding this record. I know it's a bomb, but I'm in this place where every record I'm trying to appease the DJs by just giving them something that I think they gonna play.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to take that leap even if you don't see the stairs.
So how's the response been so far?
It's been great.
Yeah.
It's been great, and I'm glad I went with my heart on this one.
Good for you.
Yeah,
that's really dope.
And this is released today, right? 6 p.m. on YouTube.
The video is being released today. Yeah, the video is being released today. 6 p.m. YouTube, but on Cali time, that's in West Coast time, that'll be 3 p.m.
3 p.m. Yeah. MAINO's in the studio with the Baka Boyz.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming in here.
Nah, thank you for having me, bro.
It's been a long time. I've been hearing your name, been playing your records for many years, but never had a chance to have a one-on-one with you. Yeah. And I look forward to the next conversation with you, man. And continue success. Well, real quick, let me touch on the Love and Hip Hop thing. How many relationships have you gone through during this Love and Hip Hop thing?
No, bro. I was only on one Love and Hip Hop one time.
No, I'm just saying, because I've never really watched Love and Hip Hop, but I've heard that when you do these television shows that are on television, it really does something to a relationship. It really
maybe you're right, because I'm having some problems right now. But yeah, maybe that is so. But I only went on there one time. I'm not so attached to the brand like that.
How was that experience though for you?
It was cool. It wasn't, because for me, integrity is important. So I wasn't gonna put myself in a situation where I was gonna damage myself or my brand or my people. So I was cool. I was just on there, giving real talk and just being me.
Yeah. Did you ever have those conversations with some of the corporate folks where they wanted you to do something and you're like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
I came in with rules from the door.
Yeah.
The things that I was willing to do and the things that I wasn't willing to do. And I will say that they never tried to put me in a position, that I felt that would compromise who I felt that I was.
Out of your character.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be doing any more television films?
You never know. We'll see.
You're in Hollywood. Go ahead, Ari.
One last thing. You just opened a new store, right?
Yeah.
In Brooklyn.
July 6th, yeah. Threads. July 6th is the grand opening. It's in my neighborhood. It's in the neighborhood that I grew up in. The corners that took my innocence. You know what I mean? Definitely.
I think it's so dope that you're giving back to your neighborhood and,
Got to. You gotta show by example. Gotta lead by example, right?
Absolutely.
So what is the store? Tell me what the store is.
It's clothing.
Okay.
It's clothing, some print tees, some sweatsuits and stuff like that.
When you go back to your block or go back to your neighborhood, do you see, kids, you remember yourself in those kids?
Of course.
Yeah, what are those conversations? Well,
I was a bad kid though, bro. Like I was bad.
Well, I'm sure there's some baddies out there.
Skirts up.
I was
What are some of the bad things you used to do, man? That you used to do, no more.
That
you're not proud of.
You mean like mischief or crime? Like
taking bubble gum from the bodega.
We talking mischief.
Give me one of each.
I mean, as far I remember like being a kid and we used to like buy locks and lock in like the barbershop people.
Yeah. Lock them inside the store.
pull a gate down while he was in there. When people was in there, lock them in.
That's kind of fun. You guys used to get a laugh
stuff like that. Yeah. Take stink bombs and M80s and throw them in the Chinese restaurant. We was bad. Like this is what I'm trying to tell you. Like it wasn't good. Like it wasn't good. It was a time where I couldn't go to no stores in my neighborhood.
They didn't like you.
They didn't want.
What? Listen, I personally had you go to the Chinese restaurant in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
I had the M80 is, right?
Yeah.
Right. I threw one back in the when you go to order in the Chinese restaurant.
I would have been so mad at you, man.
And a guy tried to step on it and messed he had to go to the hospital.
You messed up his foot?
Really bad. And I almost went to jail for it and everything. They knew it was me and his son. His son shot at me in broad daylight.
God.
Yeah.
You're lucky to be alive, bruh.
This is crazy. Like, this is crazy. Like, the Asian man was chasing me with his gun in broad daylight. This is mischief though. This is not even crime.
This is not even going.
It's just a surface.
This is just ghetto mischief.
Yeah. Look,
as
you're
bored
as hell. What?
I'm trying to tell you,
There's more.
What?
All right, then maybe for the next interview, ladies and gentlemen, MAINO, give it a round. Hey, we're gonna dedicate this to MAINO. It's called Going Bad. He's been bad. Baka Boyz, thanks, MAINO. Appreciate you, brother. Make sure to stream that. Make sure to peep that. That brand new video drops today, 3 o'clock West Coast, 6 o'clock East Coast. Come on.
Radio how it's supposed to be heard. It's the Baka Boyz Show.
What's going on? This is Drip.
Every